You know, when you try to think of your earliest childhood memories, the majority of people can't recall anything from before the age of 3. It is almost like there is a hole in our memories. Why is that? Hi, and welcome to this channel. Our earliest memories are actually a bit of a mystery. Most people can't remember much from their first few years of life, and scientists don't know exactly why that is. But they have a few theories. First off, your hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that acts like its memory center, isn't fully developed until you're around 4 or 5 years old. Until then, it's still getting those neural connections. So even if you had the memory, you might not be able to keep it. And no, 2, before you're 3, you just don't have the language skills needed to store memories in words. You may have the memory of an event, but without the words to put it into, you can't keep it. It's kind of like trying to hold on to something wet with a net. You can reach back and grab it, but it slips right through your fingers. But here's where things get interesting. Researchers believe that these early memories aren't really gone. They exist in some form, but they're just out of our conscious awareness. Think about how your brain changes over the course of a year. You go from helpless newborn to verbal toddler to preschooler who's learning to read. All of those new skills and experiences are changing how your brain works, including how it stores and uses memories. So while you don't lose your memories, you do lose access to them. As you get older, your brain essentially rewrites those memories and files them away instead of keeping them in an easily accessible place. If you've ever heard the phrase, "you never forget your first love," it's true. First loves are remembered long after other flings from that age have been forgotten. That's because major emotional events leave traces in our memory that are stronger than everyday routines. Memories of the day you were born, the first time you said words, or the first time you took a big step are all tucked away somewhere in your brain, even if you can't recall them. As you get older, your brain becomes better at recalling emotional memories. So the reason why you do remember much from the first few years of your life isn't because they weren't important, they just didn't stick. Of course, everyone is different. Some people have memories going back to age 2 or younger, while others can't remember anything before age 4. There are even rare cases of people who remember their whole lives. These are called hyperthymic people. Hyperthymesia is a fancy name for a highly superior autobiographical memory. People with hyperthymesia can recall very specific details about their past, including the date and weather of significant events from many years ago. For example, one woman with hyperthymesia could remember that her first piano lesson was on January 1969. She also remembered that it was a cold day in the middle of the afternoon. Researchers believe that hyperthymesia is probably linked to having an extraordinary amount of dedication and attention to detail. So if you have trouble remembering the past, don't worry, you're not alone. The good news is that you'll probably have plenty of new memories to make in the future. Just don't expect yourself to remember every single one of them. Speaking of memories, do you have a favorite childhood memory? Share it with us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.